Grab seats. Yeah, stop playing. Because we the big ones, not the little ones.
All right, let's grab seats.
What's happening?
Lower it. If we need more seats, there's more seats in the back, but we need everyone to start getting seats taken down. All right? There's more chairs. There's more chairs over there if you need to grab a seat, but it looks pretty full over here, so we need everyone to start moving this way. Yeah. We have two lapels. Marketing directors and above, we have reserved seating up front. So if you're a marketing director, please move towards the front. Everyone else, let's grab our seats. PBD is on a tight schedule, so let's make sure we can get the most value out of him today. Are you ready, Austin? Austin, stand up, let's go! Hold on. I can't hear you. I hear you making a noise up the front. Come on, right side, make some noise. Austin, together, you ready? Hold on. Austin, are you ready? Austin, are you ready? Where's the volume? Put it down. You know what's crazy, guys? The moment they walked in here, you know the first thing they said? Holy shit. Holy shit. The whole crew's like, what is going on here? And it's crazy because all the seats are filled up. There's literally no seats available, which is exactly what we planned for. And there's still probably 100 people who are showing up in here. How does it feel to be a part of the #1 offense? 1, 2, 3, come on! hell? Okay. All right. B. All right, one house. All right. You guys fired up or what? Yes? All right. Okay, let's jump right in. Everybody sit down. I'm going to have you guys stand up again in a second because guess what? We're jumping right in. Guys, we're jumping one house. We did not. You said what? That is crazy. Just so you know, I hope you guys understand this. In the history of financial services, in the insurance industry, you guys just made history right now. I hope you guys know that. Because look, guys, there's over 450,000 licensed agents in this industry. Over 450,000 licensed agents, coast to coast, state to state. And you guys officially have the #1 size office in the entire industry right now. Give yourself a round of applause. What's funny about this is, guys, we started this with 14 people. How crazy is that? Guys, this office opened literally, I remember, by the way, Harold, you remember when you guys came here first time, right? How many people did you see here? It's like maybe 10, 12, 13 people. We started this thing with 40 people from California, and we said, man, watch how fast we grow, watch how fast we build, watch how we make history in a new territory where people's dreams and goals start to become a reality because you decided to go play offense. And guess what? In a world where everybody takes complaint, man, I have no idea, there's COVID, there's a pandemic going on, man, the unemployment is at record high. Guess what's happening? History is being made even in the midst of chaos. That's exactly what dreams and goals are supposed to be. And guess what? Because of what all of you guys did. This is not just the leaders. This is every single one of you guys. Because you guys showed up, you committed, you fought, you were relentless. Guess what happened? Our CEO, who was the founder of Value Team, who is somebody who's broke records all across the country. I looked up his interview today with Tate. Over 15 million views in 1 month, in one video. How insane is that? So today, by the way, you know where they're just coming from right now? How many of you guys know Joe Rogan's experience? Anybody? Imagine going to Joe Rogan's podcast and just think about this for a second. Rogan is probably like, what are you guys doing after this? Yeah, no, we're about to go visit the #1 office in the entire insurance industry because Austin is officially the #1. So make some freaking noise one more time. What I'm talking about. Guys, tonight is over. I have no idea. Tyler, what's our count right now? What's our count? 427. 427. Guys. 400. Are you guys ready to do this 400 one more time? All right. Guys, let's stand up on our feet. Because officially, we have the #1 CEO, the founder of Valuetainment, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who made all of this stuff possible. Because of him, lives have changed across nations, billions of views all over YouTube. Officially, the most talked about entrepreneur and CEO in the world. Let's give it up for the one, the only, Mr. Grab seats. This is a good-looking crowd, by the way. Good for you. Very, very good for you. By the way, can you stand? I'm just curious right now.
Tico, we have to be ready for this. Where's Tico at? Stand up if you're in George's base shop. If you're in George's base shop only. Okay, let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's like 68-ish. What's the number? You guys signed in already or no? Do we know?
Yeah.
What's the number? Can you tell me? I'm thinking it's like 68, 72 type of, what is it? 62, I was 6 off? What is it? 61? Okay, all right. Grab seats. Bruno's base shop. Let's see it. What is this? Okay.
77.
Tico, 77. Damn. Good. 71 or 77? Okay, I want to see the feeling. Okafor's base shop. Great job, guys. Okafor's base shop. Okay, you're third. Are you like 51?
50.
50, I was one up. Okay, grab seats. Who else we got? Who else is a? Who else? Who's? Pre-mail base. Pre-mail base. Okay. 27. What's the number? 30? Okay, good. Who else do we have? Elias's base shop. Elias. 54? Where's it at? 54?
67.
Oh, really? All right, who else we got? Anybody else? Walker?
Khalid.
Walker?
Stand up, Khalid.
Walker is 44. What is Walker? 39. Okay, close. Anyone left or no? No? Okay. All right. Guys, just so I've been doing this for 23 years. Right? So let me tell you guys, first of all, it's exciting to be here. We came here because we just did a 3-hour podcast with Joe Rogan. We just finished up right now with him. And then I said, we got to come. I called George. George reaches out, TK, if you guys are coming in town, et cetera, et cetera. What's going to happen? How many? I think we'll have this many. And then we challenged, what was it, 240 to 260? Yeah. You guys are doing full-timers, comes back, talks to Teak. You know, I think we can hit a different number, maybe 350 to 400. And then I think, what's the number right now, by the way? 427, no guests. 427 is officially a record in PHP Mix. Just so you know, not only, I came here to visit you guys, we got the top earner in all of PHP in the house, Mr. Money Smart Guy. I don't know if you watched the podcast, we got Adam here, we got Vinny here, where's Vinny at? We got Mario here, we got a bunch of folks here with us. We got the Biz Doc, Tom Ellsworth in the house. So how many of you are associates, but you've been in this thing for less than 30 days? Raise your hand. If you're associates, less than 30 days. How many of you associates less than 60 days? Less than 60 days. Can you stand up if you're less than 60 days? Stand up if you're less than 60 days, less than 60 days, less than 60 days. Okay, this is legit. This is a healthy organization. Grab seats. So how many guys stay standing? This is your first annual convention you're going to. First annual convention you're going to. Stand up like MGM Grand. Las Vegas, the first one you're going to. This is an office key. This is an office. Grab seats. So check this out. We're in the back. We're talking. George comes. George gives me a hug. I got to go give a BLM. Okay? And immediately, I went back to what we were doing in 2007. Yes or no? George is doing a meeting. I'm over here. He's doing his thing. And while I'm doing the training, I'm listening, saying, as long as the guests are laughing, we're good. And so that was the gauge. And George knew how to make the people laugh. George was famous back in the days. He had this joke book. Remember this joke book he had? George had this joke book. He would bring this joke book. Remember this joke book? And every time he would tell the jokes, and people would say, no, that was a terrible joke. That was not a good joke, George. All right, let me do another one. So either I'm in that room, he's in here, or he was in there, I'm in here, and then to go from there to being where we are today, I'm, talking to Mario, Teak, saying, what do you think these guys need to hear today? I'll tell you guys a few stories, and I got a message for you, and then we'll wrap up and be out of here so you guys can go about your business. Cindy Cobos. Let's talk about Cindy. When Cindy first got recruited, Cindy, there was another lady with her working with us, Maricela. I love Maricela. These two girls. One time I field trained and we went to a Phoenix University, whatever it was in Palmdale, as we went there. And Maricela was a very important person for me. I don't know if you guys realize this. Maricela for me, Maricela and Mario were market research, because if I wanted to find out, let's just say there's training, right? And I'm in my office and I'm over here, and I want to know if the person training is doing a good job or not. There was always two people that could tell me if they're doing a good job or not. I would look at Maricela and I would look at Mario's face. Mario and Maricela, you have about 10 seconds to impress them, okay? If you don't impress them, they're knocked out. I'd say, okay, Mario's knocked out, she's knocked out, training must be bad, right? But if Mario and Maricela were not knocked out, the training was great, right? But one day, we have a lot of crazy stories that we have. One of them was, we're in my office. My office had it was a glass office you couldn't see in, but it was glass out. And Cindy, that month, I had one of those meetings where it's the legendary meeting. I don't know if they've told you this story or not. You know, by the way, don't believe 90% of the stories. They're full, okay? All the horror stories, don't ever buy any of it. It's a propaganda, it's fake news. None of that stuff happened. This one day we're having a meeting. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna have 2 people quit in the meeting today. I was done. And I came into the meeting. And I looked at Cindy. Were you in that meeting or not? Okay. So one, I targeted Cindy, and then I targeted Michael Robertasio. Because you can't just do women or men, you have to have equal opportunity type of guy. So I'm like, hey, this is way before what things we're dealing with. I was ahead of my time. I always went after both, so you couldn't say anything. So I say, Cindy, she's 19 years old at the time. She's been in business for, however long, 1 year, year and a half, whatever it is. That month, Cindy had made $36. Okay? I said, Cindy, I need you to quit. She says, what do you mean? I said, this isn't for you. You're young, you're 19, you're not working, go get a job, you're wasting my time, you're wasting your time, go home. You're driving an hour on the way here from Palmdale to Granada Hills. Your mom doesn't like me, your dad doesn't like me, my tire slashed twice a week. I know one is your mom, one is your dad. Don't drive anymore. George's dad couldn't stand me because they're like, you guys are driving an hour to Granada Hills. For what? What are you doing? His dad's not a fan. Family's not a fan. Cindy's mother was an incredible salesperson. I'll tell you that story here in a minute. So I said, Cindy, quit. Quit, Cindy. Cindy's looking at me. All of a sudden, that's when I knew Cindy was a fireball. She says, you can't make me quit. I said, you gotta quit. This isn't for you. You can't make me quit. Quit. You can't make me quit. We're going back and forth in the meeting. Mario, you're in this meeting. This is what year? 07? 07, right? Something like that, yeah. And she went back down. Right? I'm like, wow. So meeting's over. Always, I'm at the end of the day, everybody's doing their thing. They're doing their meetings. I'm in my office till like 11 o'clock. And you knew when I leave the office is because I would play one song before I left. And do you remember the song, what it was before I would leave? Marty, you would remember what the song was before I would leave. I would play The World Is Mine. How many of you guys know the song The World Is Mine, right? I would put The World Is Mine and we would go all the way blasting it. And I would leave. And I would put it on repeat, which means the only time this is stopping is from 11 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning. When the cleaning crew is coming in on repeat, all they hear is, the world is mine. You know that song, right? So, I'm in the office by myself, and I'm like, why didn't she quit? She should quit. She didn't back down. Interesting. Okay. So now that's a challenge to me. Because now I got to figure out a creative way to make sure she quits. So then I said, the next 30, 60 days, I'm going to double down from stage every single time. And I did. Some can call it many different words. Back in the days, I called it encouragement, is what I called it, right? Lifting you up, like, building you up, all that kind of stuff. Cindy doesn't quit. Cindy one night is at a gas station, okay? She's filling up her gas tank. Guy comes in with the car. She goes and talks to the man, midnight, 11 o'clock, whatever the time is, gets the man's number, Juan Carlos Romero, I believe. After getting the guy's number, he's going to late school to learn English or whatever they're doing. One of the classmates is a guy named Rodolfo Vargas Sr. She recruits Rodolfo Vargas Sr. Rodolfo Vargas Sr. brings his son, Rodolfo Vargas Jr. Rodolfo Vargas is with us for a year. I'm going to George. He sits in the back with his dad, and every time I'm speaking, they're talking. So I go to George. I said, George, I swear to God, last meal, we got to ask them to leave. They can't come anymore. He says, Pat, you can't tell them to leave. I said, no, they can't come anymore. This is it. I'm speaking, they're whispering, everybody's looking at his Pat. They're learning English through the way you talk, so he's translating. They're coming to a meeting to learn English. I said, bro, this is not hooked on phonics. You guys got to get them a CD, send them to a program, they can't come over here. He says, no, these are good guys. So one day I'm talking to him, I'm looking at him, I'm like, I can't understand anything he's saying. Every time I would tell him, listen, George, you got to tell him he can never pronounce the word focus. It doesn't work for him. When he says focus, he offends our Christians. This is not appropriate. He keeps saying focus. You can't say that kind of stuff. It's just not appropriate. And it's his accent. It's the way he talks, right? Just that, he's learning. And then eventually, one day he says, yeah, he passes life. He passes 6. He passes 63. I said, that guy that doesn't speak English, he says, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Then one day we go to D.C. Rodolfo still hasn't done anything in the company yet. We go to D.C. We're walking in D.C. This is July of 2010. We're in D.C. And our tradition every year, 4th of July, we would go to D.C. We'd go to the Smithsonian, we'd go to Lincoln Memorial. Rodolfo comes in, he's walking next to me, okay? And if you don't know my personality, I hardcore believe in you, but I'm super skeptical that you're gonna do anything. Yep. Okay, so I got this bipolar thing that I've been dealing with for 44 years. No doctors figured it out, but we're letting God work on that. And that's the only doctor I can see that can help me in this area. So I'm like, yeah, man, I believe in these guys, but these guys not gonna do anything, right? Now we're walking. We're at this place, everybody goes and buys these hats. Red, white, and blue hats. Rodolfo says, hey, Patrick, I just want to tell you, I'm going to El Salvador to marry my wife. And when I come back, we're going to be one of your biggest guys. I said, Rodolfo, seriously. So I'm telling you, we're going to be your biggest guys. I said, Rodolfo, you're an FA. Go El Salvador. Let's see what happens. Goes to El Salvador. Comes back. We have this meeting PHP, and it's the first one. And we're doing this exercise called STAR, which one you are. Ceci's there at the first meeting. Rodolfo's English is terrible, but Ceci actually doesn't speak English, okay? But we fell in love with Ceci. Ceci went from the shy person who would never pick up the phone. She would never pick, this was her biggest fear for 2 or 3 years, guys. She feared making phone calls. She feared doing RIs. She feared doing fast starts. We could not crack the code with her picking this thing up. Like this was a monster to her on how worried she was about what somebody could tell her on the phone on the other line. Eventually, they become marketing directors. I have a conversation with them. I said, we need somebody to go to Houston. I think it's a good market for you guys. We go to Houston for a weekend. They come back. They say, Pat, we're moving to Houston. I said, great. They're only making $50,000 a year at that time. They go to Houston in a Honda Accord, Honda Civic or something like that with a popcorn machine. They go to Houston. Next thing you know, first meeting, Pat, we want you to come down on your birthday, do a special meeting. We want to make you proud. So Jen's like, babe, what are we doing for your birthday Friday? And I said, babe, I'm going to Houston. These guys are going to put a big meeting. I'm going to go to the event. Oh, babe, it's your birthday. Can you just not go this time? I said, babe, I'm going to go. These guys are going to blow it up. It's going to be a massive meeting. They're going to light it up. It's going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be awesome. So I go to Houston, okay? I'm driving to, like, when I pulled up here, I already know there's people here because of what? The car. I pull up to the hotel. These guys are doing it at a hotel like it's a really high-end event. So I'm like, where the hell are the cars? And I'm like, no, they definitely parked in the back. I'm like, there is no back here. So I go in. They're like, Pat, stay in the VIP room. We want to surprise you. I'm like, all right. They're bringing me up. They have this girl that brings me up. She grabs the iPad. And our next speaker is 13 people were in the room that night. 13 people. I'm doing the meeting, but I'm confused. Like, is there any other way you can insult the guy who's the CEO, flew out to do a meeting for you from LA? Because I'm not living in Texas yet. And it's my birthday. At least put 100, 200 guests in the house. No, 13 guests. We get in the car. And this is a defining moment that this is going to relate to a lot of you guys. We get in the car, and they bought me a Ferragamo wallet that I had carried for 6 years. Every time I thought about that. And we're in the car. It's quiet. They don't want to say anything. It's the awkward moment. I said, how you guys doing? She's sitting in the back. It's a small Mercedes, BMW, whatever it was, the small little, not even a C class, like an A class. What's before A, like lowercase A class. Like I'm sitting like this shit. Okay? So I'm in this thing trying to fit. And they're like, you guys good? No. Ceci goes 30 minutes in tears. Rodolfo's crying. We're doing our best, we're working, we're doing this, we're doing that, this and that, this, blah, 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 blah. I promise you, if there's one thing that we're doing is now we're not working, blah, 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 blah. 30 minutes! And I'm just looking at them like this to see if I believe them. And you know what happened? I 100% believe them. Let me tell you why. I told a story today about Peter, Madden, and Kalen. They're working on a project. They did a phenomenal job with a PowerPoint they put together. They worked 11:30. I had not to put it together. I was impressed. Twice I rejected them. I said, it's not good. This time they crushed it. And I told him this story. I said, my dad, when he wanted to raise me into a man, he said something to me once. He told me a story. He said, Pops, one day a father wants to turn his 10-year-old boy into a man. He gets up, wakes his son up. It's summertime, so there's no school. He says, son, today before I come home, you have to make $5. He says, I'm 10 years old. I don't care. Today before I come home, you have to make $5. Dad goes to work. Son goes to mom. Mom, I'm 10 years old, Mom. Mom's like, don't worry about it. Here's $5. Tell them you made the $5. It's going to be all right. You don't need to go to work. You're 10 years old. Dad comes home. Hey, Dad, did you make the $5? I made the $5. Here's my $5. Let me see it. Takes the $5, throws it in the fireplace. Mom screams at Dad saying, what the hell are you doing? Why'd you throw my $5 in the fireplace? Bingo. You didn't make the $5. Tomorrow wakes the kid up. Today, you have to make $5. Goes to work. Hey, Mom, can I get $5? I'm not giving you $5. He's going to burn the next $5. You ain't getting it from me. He becomes a beggar. First phase, you're lazy. Second phase, you're a beggar. He goes begging his relatives. He gets $5 from an uncle. Brings the money to Dad that night. When Dad comes home, he says, Dad, I made $5. Takes the $5, throws it in the fireplace. See, you didn't make $5 today. What do you mean I didn't make $5 today? Did you give him $5? I didn't give him $5. But I know you didn't make $5. How do you know? I know. You're going to know why I know, but I know. Next morning, wakes his kid up. Today, I expect you to make $5 today. It's a very emotional story. You'll see here in a minute why. Dad goes to work. Son knows he can't be lazy. Mom's not giving me $5. He learned begging is not going to work. No one's going to give him money. So now he knows he has to do something. He's going around asking local community, what can I do to make $5? No one's giving him anything. Guy across the street says, for each sandbag you move from here to over there, I'll give you a penny a sandbag. This guy's 10 years old. Are you kidding? I'll give you a penny a sandbag. He moves 150 sandbags. The guy gives him $1.50 in change. Comes home. Dad says, did you make $5 today? He said, I didn't make $5, but I made $1.50. He says, let me see it. Gives it to him. Dad grabs it, throws it in the fireplace. The son runs into the fireplace, puts his hand in the fire to take the coins. Dad grabs and hugs him. He says, today, I know you worked for that $1.50. You're officially a man. That night, I knew Rodolfo and Ceci were going to be millionaires. That night, I knew it. I'm just looking at them like this. I'll never forget that night. That water was looking because I believe these guys had so much. If she doesn't talk to Juan Carlos, remember that night. If she has an attitude that day and says, screw Pat, I don't need to do this. I can go get a job. I don't need making money anyways. And she quits. She's not making $600,000 a year. If Rodolfo and Ceci don't pay the price, they're not making $1.3 million this year in 7 months. They're about to cross $2 million income. They're living in a beautiful home. They got 3 kids. Their parents don't have to worry about money. Everything's changed. So now let's split this story on you. One day Mario comes up to me in the office. I don't know a lot about Mario. But when I have young guys that I work with, I don't trust young people. Young people, this is a very big office. You know what's the problem about this big office? Let me tell you what's going to happen Sundays at this office. I would have cameras in this office on Sundays because young people don't have an apartment or a place to live. And when there's an office with a lot of pretty faces and good-looking guys, they tend to want to come to work on Sundays for no reason. And the reason why I know this is because I intentionally will come to my office on Sunday mornings and I would walk into many people. I'll tell you a funny story. One day, I'm like, okay, I know whose card that is. I walk in. And I'm walking quietly, just to see. And I come in. You see Cindy's laugh? You know why? She's been around with me for 20 years. I walk in quietly. And you know, parents, you know how this works. Because our parents did it to us, now we do it to our kids. Keys going quietly, but the moment you go quiet, you have to open it quickly, right? But the keys have to go quietly. So I'm listening, I hear it. You know what sound it is. And that's the sound. Just, no one's slapping anybody. It's not like they high five. So here we go. Ready? Quietly. Boom, boom. And you see. Guys, what is the matter with you? Actually, we're so sorry. It's just plates. 5 minutes, finish up. I gotta talk to you guys. I respectfully step out. I have respect. I stepped out because you have to respect, you know. They say trust science, I trust science, so I step out, right? You guys done? So you can't do anything, right? I'm coming. Closer. I say, guys, honestly, like, Pat, it's just you don't understand. We're 23 and 25, and I'm like, okay. I said, first of all, I have no idea you guys did this stuff. But watch what I said. I swear to God, if you guys miss Monday morning training, full-timers, I'm not gonna like it. Pat, we're gonna be there. Okay, let's see. Go ahead and miss it. So tomorrow morning, Monday morning, you're at training. We typically have only 30 people there. This is 2007. Guess where one is sitting and guess where the other one is sitting. Just try to guess. One is here, the other one is here. So I said, guys, life is about who's the most dedicated, and whoever's the most dedicated wins. You know who was here on Sunday working hard? Some of the hardest working people I've met in my life. I said, can you stand up, Genji? They stand up. Guys, I go 10 minutes. Tell them how amazing they are. Their face is red because they're thinking, I want to tell the story. I said, can we make some noise for these guys? And they start clapping. They sit down. And I look at them. And I look. So, this is a big-ass office. I don't trust young people. So, for me, when I work with young people, I would challenge them. So, I meet George. George comes in. We put a Halloween party. These pictures are never going to come out, but we put on a Halloween party. And George, for whatever reason, decides to wear whatever outfit he has. Okay? It's a very weird outfit, but he chose the outfit, you know. Nowadays, you know, that outfit is a regular Tuesday for Dylan Mulvaney, but he chose to dress whatever outfit he wanted to wear. He comes up to me and he says, Matt, I just want to tell you, I'm going to be your biggest guy. I said, George, you're 18 years old. Honestly, don't do this to yourself. He said, I'm going to be your biggest guy one day. You're going to see. And he draws this card for me. I have it till today. And he says, this is Pat. And he makes one of my legs very long, the other one short. And he says, this is the unity leg. He says, we're going to be the biggest organization. This guy told me this at 18 years old. He just turned 36. He's a father, signed a 25,000 square foot lease with his partners, Okafor, Obos, a bunch of other guys. Kept his word, right? He kept his word. Now he's a multi-millionaire living in a beautiful $3 million house, you know, driving what, I don't even know what he drives right now. Paycon, what is he, a Renault? What's he drive today? Like a Toyota Avalon? Tell me what he drives today. Corvette Stingray, fantastic, good. He should not drive cars like that. He's totaled a couple of them. One day he takes my Z06 and said, can I drive it? We're at Canoga Park. I said, sure. We're supposed to make a left turn. So I said, George, just when you take your leg, this is a Z06, slowly, like you have to time it, and you're forced to go, don't just go gas. He goes, bam, boom! He doesn't, George, you can't do that. So let me just switch cars, stick shift. He comes, he sits over there, we drive out. I say, but that was crazy. His life has changed. Let's come back to you guys. Okay, this whole meeting today has nothing to do with me. Guys, I'm financially free. This meeting, I don't need more attention. I get plenty of it. I get plenty of attention for from 4 people that matter to me the most. You got Tico, the oldest, Patrick. He's 11. You got Dylan, who's 9. You got Senna, who's 7. And the wisest out of the 4 kids, Brooklyn. Brooklyn is the wisest, hands down. She loves me more than anybody else. I've never met anybody with her level of wisdom at only 2 years old. Benny, yes or no?
Yeah.
Have you met someone like that? That's like Socrates type of wisdom, right? They make me happy. My wife makes me happy. What we do makes me happy. This company we build together makes me happy. This whole meeting here today, we're family, serious. I've seen their kid go when I would go watch his son play basketball to USC records, all this stuff. When I see Sears, it's family to me. When I see Okafor, when first time I saw Okafor at an event, I brought him up at directors and up. He was only making $50,000. He says, "Mark my words. I'm going to buy my mom a house, and I'm telling you right now, I swear to you, mark my words." And I'm just sitting watching this guy saying, I freaking like this guy, seeing where he's at now, about to be a $500,000 earner, soon $1 million earner. I remember when I saw this with this guy, like, this is my kind of guy. We have a lot of great relationships in this company. One day Mario comes into my office. His mother, they had dry cleaners, ended up having issues. I'm still trying to lobby Mario to write a book about his mom. His mom was an incredible Guatemalan gangster mom. I mean, that mom, the stuff that she did to these guys is unbelievable. Straight up gangster. Anybody here from Guatemala or not? Anybody from Guatemala? This is one of the toughest women I've ever seen in my life. The first time I meet his mom, this is how she comes to introduce herself to me. Mario's like, "Hey, this is my mom." Mom comes to me, she's looking at me like this, coming close to me like she wants to fight me. I don't know, nobody looks at me like this, but okay, maybe his mom is upset at something, right? And then I like to break people in. One day we have a trip to Cayman Islands. We're going to Cayman Islands. Mario gets a raffle ticket, so he's going. And Cayman Islands, guys, 100 degrees. It's a beautiful place. We're staying at Ritz-Carlton. It's 2007, 2008. And he says, "Hey, Pat, I'm bringing my grandma. I really want to have a good time, but I want to impress the company. How should I dress?" I said, "Listen, Cayman Islands, you have to wear a 3-piece suit. When you're going to a place like this, you're making an impression. You have to," say, your grandma, she has to dress up in an incredible dress. So, we're at the airport LAX. Guys, I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing like a regular, whatever, sombrero hat. We're wearing like short sleeve shirts, flip-flops, all this stuff. Next thing you know, Mario comes with his briefcase in a 3-piece suit with his grandma in a full-blown dress from a wedding and stuff. And he comes up, I'm like, "Mario, why are you wearing a 3-piece suit?" In front of his grandma, and you just hear his grandma like every single F word you can think about. Everything. And he's trying to explain to her, "Grandma, I'm trying to impress the company. Why would you make me wear something like this?" That was the way Mario became who he is. But one day we're having a meeting. At this meeting, one of our girls, I would always ask for feedback. And one of the guys on Saturday morning training, all he did, he trained out of the Bible. And after the meeting, everybody said, "Pat, do you know what happened?" I said, "What happened today?" He says, "The guy got up for 45 minutes, he trained out of the Bible." I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "No, I'm telling you straight up, he was just talking out of the Bible. Like it was a sermon." I said, "No, I asked him to train out of the Bible. He only talked about the Bible." So we got people here that are Scientologists, we got Mormons, we got 7-Day, we got Muslims, we got Jehovah, we're going to lose some of our guys, except we're going to keep our Christian. We can't do something like this. Okay. Meeting ends. I'm doing, inventory to find out for myself. Monday morning meeting comes. One girl gets up. I'm like, "Okay, guys, debrief. What happened last week? Anything we need to improve?" One girl gets up. She's sitting over here, and she gets up and she says, "I just want to say something, this is great. We're all Christians here. We're all different religions here, but I don't think it's appropriate for us to train out of the Bible." The guy that trained out of the Bible is in the back. He gets up. He says, "You ain't no Christian. You're a whitewashed Christian. Okay? Some of us are real Christians." So there's a little bit more detail into this one that I don't need to tell you, but anyways, so I'm like over here, and I'm like standing down watching this. I'm watching this back and forth. Mario's been with us for 1 week. It's his first meeting ever. No joke. Nobody has a clue who this 18-year-old kid is. Mario stands up. He says, "Look, honestly, I have no clue who you are, and I'm only here for the first time, but you don't talk to anybody like that. I don't like that. I can't be in a place when you talk to somebody like that." We realized who Mario was at 18 years old. Some of us from Mario, 18 years old. Mario comes in one day. I'm in my office. He comes in, opens the door. 15 minutes he's crying. 15 minutes he's crying. And I'm watching him. So what are you crying for? What's this all about? Why are you crying? I'm so sick of it. You don't know what's going on in my life. And my uncle this, and my mom this, and my this, da 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 da. He's just going, I'm just listening. I said, what do you want to do about it? I'm going to do anything it takes, boom. Mario comes back, gets to work, forget about it, becomes one of the most important people in PHP. Exit happens, he experiences that now. He's a chief sales officer doing what he's doing with us. Last month he had his biggest income month ever, and he just had a kid named after my dad, Gabriel. Right. Maximo Aguilar is a newly wed out of my house in the backyard. Incredible wedding that we had. You see him going from there to here. And Tom was officiating the wedding. I'm telling you guys. Tom and I told Mario, I said, Mario, let me tell you one thing about me and officiating weddings. 12 years ago, I was asked to officiate a wedding. It was on TLC. You guys remember the show back in the day, Something New, Something Borrowed, the wedding dresses? Guys, you shouldn't say yes, but you know, some of you ladies like, you know what show I'm talking about? So they come to my house one day, they said, Pat, we want you to officiate the wedding. I said, what do you mean you want me to officiate? We want you to officiate the wedding. So I officiate the wedding. It's on TV. I said, I'm not officiating the wedding. They eventually get my license and I do the wedding. I'm like, guys, I have no clue what the hell I'm doing. What are you talking about? So I officiate the wedding. Within a month, they got a divorce. And I made sure I told everybody, if you want me to do your wedding, I'm 0-1. Okay? You do not want to have me marry you because you're probably going to go through a divorce. Mario said, Pat, as much as I love you, I feel Tom's a better guy. They made it work for themselves. Let me bring you to today. Vinny's been with us for about 1 year and 3 months. Feels like 2 weeks, but it's been 1 year and 3 months. Peter's been with us for 8 years. We figured out today, right? It's been a long time. Vinny's been with us for 1 year and 3 months. And Vinny's a comedian. How many of you guys know Comedy Def Jam? You know, back in the days with Kevin Hart and all this stuff, and Williams Brothers. He was a guy that was touring with all those guys. Been in movies, acting, shows, comedy, all that stuff. Vinny. And he can hear better now, and you know, he's gone through a lot of different things. If you guys know what I'm saying, don't worry about it. It's gonna be all right. What? With his doctor sitting next to him. Okay. So Vinny comes in, and Vinny's doing skits. And I came home one day, and my dad's like, so my dad's a serious. We look like we're about to blow buildings up, which is a very funny conversation. Right? Yes or no? Was that scary or what? That's angry. You know? So he's doing comedy, but the comedy stuff that he's doing is a little bit like, you know, like a little too much comedy, right? You got to tone it down a little. Like he's not going NC-17. He's going like, you know, semi-porn, like love. Like you can't do comedy like that. So we have a conversation with him. Okay? So it's the power of the environment you're in. One day I go to church 4 months ago, 3 months ago. I'm at church, one of our guys, Aaron, brings Vinny to church. Vinny's at church, yeah. Interesting. Then the pastor says, hey, and if you know, this is the time, you know, altar call, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking at Vinny. Vinny goes up. And Aaron goes up, and I'm like, get out of here. Dylan sees him. Daddy, that's Vinny. Yes. We go to the side, I'm recording it, I'm seeing him on fire, all this stuff. This guy's chosen to change his life dramatically on the way he does his life right now. I'm so proud of him. Let me tell you what happens. Because Vinny and the family has now become the uncle of the family. They love Vinny. So this Sunday, Dylan is in the back with me, and the pastor's talking, saying what he's saying, altar call. Dylan says, Daddy, I'm going. I said, Dylan. He said, no, Daddy, I'm telling him I'm going. I said, Dylan, you go. I'm going with you. I'll take you. But this is your, you can't tell me I'm making you do this. I'm not making you do this. This is your choice. Daddy, I'm doing this. You can't make me do this. I said, perfect. He looks to the left. He says, Vinny, I want you to come with me. Me and Vinny walk this guy to the front. He gives his life to God in front of I don't know how many thousands of people. And we're standing in the back with our hands on our shoulders. Then we go in the back where they're giving Bibles. This 17-year-old guy comes, he's looking at Dylan. Dylan is looking at the guy like this. What's up? Because Dylan's used to, like, you know, in a family that's pushed around, so he's not intimidated by anybody. The guy's like almost intimidated by Dylan. He says, "Oh, we're gonna get you a kid Bible." "I don't want a kid Bible. I read big books." He says, "No, we'll get you a nice little kid Bible." And he keeps saying, "Kid Bible." Dylan's getting, no. I got baptized. I want a real Bible. So the guy goes and first he brings him a Spanish Bible, and he says, "No, I want an English Bible." Then they bring him a Spanish Bible and give him a Bible. So what's the moral of the story here? Peter and Kalen, they're talking about what we stand for. And one of the words they said to me today says, what we do, PHP, value team, what we do, our goal is to make better members of society. This is not easy to do because it's a lot of work. And the reason why this is hard work is because today, if you turn on the TV, or you watch social media, or you watch the news, or you watch movies, nobody knows what it is to be a hero today. Am I a hero today if I go out there and use drugs? You're a hero. Let's feel sorry for you. Am I a hero today if I leave my husband and I go and do this? Oh, you're free, girl. Go do your thing. Am I a hero today if I break up out of this? Am I a hero today if I'm a father? I'm just going to go do my own thing. Hey, live for yourself. Who cares about your kids? Go be a hero today. Am I a hero? Like I'm watching Oppenheimer. I mean, you guys saw Oppenheimer or no? You guys know the one scene in Oppenheimer when they're like, yeah, so can you stop the baby from crying? You ever stop the baby from crying? He's been trying all day. And he goes and drops the kid off to somebody else. He says, "I'm sorry, I'm just not a good person. But we can't have this kid in the house." Do you remember that scene when they drop off the kid and they drop? I'm like, so imagine somebody else is watching, like, well, maybe I want to do that as well. Kids are difficult. I don't want to do that. How many guys are 40 or older? If you're 40 plus, put your hands up. 40 plus. Put your hands up. Congratulations. You're part of the best community, by the way, if you know that. Hands down, okay? Watch this. Everybody else screwed up in life. We're the ones that have like. If you're 40 or older, I want you to think about this. When you and I were 14 years old, who was our hero? Give me the hero at 14. I'm being serious with you. Was it like, you know, sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to. Dun, 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 dun. I dream like Mike. I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Mike. Like Mike. Gatorade commercial, right? I want to be like Mike. So you know what? Life of the rich and famous. You would see people coming up nice, going into a house, boat, traveling, private jet. Man, when I grow up, I want to be rich. That's what I want to be. I want to have money. I want to be rich. Sick and tired of being poor, right? Who was your hero? We had real heroes we looked up to. People that did something that's never been done before. People that built businesses and jobs. Those were heroes. People that went to war and fought for this country. Those were heroes. We're like, man, I admire this guy. General Patton. This guy, that guy. He fought to put us up. Today, our kids have no clue what is a hero. The stuff they're teaching our kids today is absolutely confusing. My kid doesn't need to learn how to do X, Y, Z. I'm not going to tell you what I'm saying, but if you watch my podcast, you know what I say on my podcast all the time. No, I'm not okay with that. That's absolutely confusing. You don't talk to my kid about that. You want to do something after 18 years old? Go for it. Before 18, are you out of your flipping mind? Since when do we even buy into this being normal? No, this is not normal. So now I'm talking to Joe today, and I said, Joe, how many people are not talking about this openly? And so we've got a lot of people. Well, why do you think they're not? Because they're afraid of losing their jobs. They're afraid of losing their jobs. Whether it's movies, whether it's financial industry, whether it's the military. Guys have to get out of the military because they didn't want to put a vaccine in their bodies. Like, I don't want to do it. You're out. I'm only 5 years away from retirement. Get out. I gave 15 years of my life. Get out. People in LA that ran restaurants. I want you to think about this. Imagine the father who in 1958 started a small little restaurant. That restaurant had 4 employees. Him and his wife worked 80, 100 hours a week, Monday through Sunday. Then they had their first kid. Kid is born. At 6 years old, they bring the kid to the restaurant. The kid's at the restaurant. And he's like, wow, look at him. Did you see what he just did there? Yeah, he just put that Coke stuff in, and he knows how to put the Coke drink in. How awesome is that? That was a cool moment. And you're laying in bed. Hey, can you imagine baby Chris one day runs this restaurant. How awesome would it be to be in business with our boys, with our kids? 20 years later, it's 1968, 1988, and that kid has run the restaurant. That kid grows up, his son is now running the restaurant. They've had it in the family for 7 years. COVID comes in, 70,000 restaurants, 50,000 restaurants. Nearly 50 million jobs in America affected from freaking restaurant business because you shut them down. So that father that started a business 7 years ago, sacrificed everything with the wife, with the dream of one day the grandkids running this restaurant, that dream became a truth, and you freaking shut that dream down? Gone. That is a funeral. Except that funeral is a business that created jobs, the memories. How dare you do something like that? And we're supposed to accept it? We're supposed to sit there and say, this is okay? You know what you're talking about? Do you know from 1963 till today, do you know where we are right now in America trusting the government and mainstream media? It's the lowest it's ever been. Why do you think? 27% is the number. 27%. 3/4 of Americans don't believe the government and the mainstream media. They don't believe you. By the way, if 75% doesn't trust mainstream media and the government, that doesn't mean 75% of Americans are Republicans. Both Democrats and Republicans don't trust the government. So they're sitting around saying, what are you doing for me? By the way, let me give you a case study for you guys to be thinking about right now. Watch this. What is the capital? What is our capital? What city is it? BC. You guys know capital, our capital, BC, is the number 1 city in America in homelessness per capita. Per 10,000, it's 65. Number 2 is LA, is 48. They're number 1. They're number 1 in burglary, arson, robbery, homicide, every kind of crime, they're number 1. Lowest 5 schooling, like worst grades, they're in the top 5, worst grades. Schooling, education. Now here's the crazy thing. Do you know what city in America has the most people making over $200,000 per year? BC. Do you know what city in America has the most people making less than $10,000 per year? BC. Do you know 45% of the population in BC is black? And do you know the government's always been known, based on what our school teachers told us, that the government is here to help you, and Democrats are all about helping blacks. But since 1975, when DC became a city, there's never been a Republican mayor. It's only been a Democratic mayor. Huh. What are you saying, Pat? Is this a political message? I'm not born here. I've been talking like this since we started PhD. My job is to get you thinking. And then go do your research and say, screw Pat, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And then at 1 o'clock in the morning by yourself, you're like, damn, all that stuff is actually true. So, babe, what do you think? Well, it's just this, and it's just, I'm sorry. There is no city more important worldwide that you know about than our capital, DC. Why don't you take care of your own city? Well, why are you manipulating us? I was a kid, 14 years old, I'm in school, high school, and they're talking about Democrat, Republican, all this stuff, but most people don't know about is my mother's side that were communists, my dad's side that were imperialists. I don't care about politics. Every time I think about politics, all I think about is 2 divorces. My parents got divorced. They always fought over politics. I hated it as a kid. You know what memory I missed as a kid when my parents got a divorce? Let me tell you what memory I missed when my parents got a divorce. We lived on the 4th floor. It's so funny. My dad and I were talking about it the other day. We lived on the 4th floor. And our door had one of those glass windows that you can see shadow. And you know what I would see? I would see this. This movement was the happiest moment of my night. At around 8:30, what happened? I would see head go like this. Do you see what I'm saying? And when I saw that head, that's my dad's head. Boom. Last time that happened, I was 10 years old. They got a divorce. I hate politics. Can't stand it. We go to Germany at a refugee camp. 2 years. Come out here, I don't see my dad for 2.5 years, 2 years. And when we came here, I only saw him once every other week. He would pick me up at Virgil's. And I would go to his place. He didn't have a lot of money. He worked at a 99-cent store, at a cashier at a 99-cent store in Inglewood. I don't know if you guys know Inglewood, but some of you do because you came here from Culver City. One day I come to my mom and I said, Mom, today they were talking about politics. What are we, Mom? Are we Democrats or are we Republicans? She said, no, we're Democrats. Oh, that's great. Hey, Mom, yeah, why are we Democrats? Oh, because Democrats are for the poor and Republicans are for the rich. Got it. I gotta tell you, Mom, what's that? When I grew up, I want to be a Republican. Is he the CEO of the company talking like this? From day one, we talk like this. And if you want to quit and leave because you can't think for yourself, there is the door. All good. It's been the mindset since day one, guys. But if you can stick around and have your mind being challenged, one day you're going to wake up and saying, all of this mindset that was fed to my mom and my dad that I bought was wrong. I want to be financially independent. She's the hero to the Cobos family. One day her mother calls me saying, I got 3 appointments, I want to field training. I want you to field train. I said, no problem. So I go to Palm, that's an hour drive. So we go to the first appointment. I said, so what's the first appointment? This house here, it's $1 million. You should buy it. I said, what do you mean? Let me give you the tour of the house. I said, no, you're supposed to put me in front of people to sell or recruit. I said, I didn't like to. I said, we have 3 appointments. I'm going to show you 3 houses today. Yes or no? So I'm there, I'm like so furious with her. She takes me to this house. She says, look at this one here in the back. You can do like bike jumps, and then you come back and you can do, I'm like, Patricia, I don't have any time to do bike jumps. I don't even do bike jumps. Okay, so well, let's go to this other city. Court sells like the Beverly Hills or Palmdale. I'm like, with all due respect, Patricia, I'm not moving to Palmdale, right? Mom, well, you know what I realized? Mom's got the dog fight. And that genetic went to her. And she is continuing Mom's legacy. And when Mom sees her, all she thinks about is all those days when I set the example of working hard. It's finally paying off through my daughter. You know how proud that mom is to see Cindy Cobos being a hero to everybody. Let's bring it back, because I got 5 minutes with you before I leave. Let's bring it back. So, do you remember the message on, we talked about Rodolfo in the car, and I'm looking at him like this? Which phase are you at? Are you, oh yeah, I'm fully committed. Are you going to Vegas? Well, yeah, of course I'm going to Vegas. Who's fully registered flights, everything going to Vegas? Okay, who is not yet? Who's not yet? We talked to you, that's not a lot of you guys. Listen. Vinny and I are talking right now because Vinny's going through a phase of life, you know. He wants to have a family, have kids, all this stuff. I think he's going to be an incredible father. My first event, sitting there like, oh my God, I can't go to Vegas. I got a job, I got this, nothing's going right. I'm not going to Vegas. But I'll go to the next one. For sure, I promise you, I can't go to this one. Last one, I get a call. If you're really serious about your dreams, when you're done, I'm making every single excuse in the world. Finally, we're at a point. You know what point I'm in? Here's a point I'm in. I know I can go. But I know I'm lying to the other person on the other line because I don't want to spend the money to go because I don't think it's worth it. So I'm lying. Phase 1. The kid was lying. I'm lying. And I know I'm lying. I didn't say you, I am lying. I get off the phone. I said, okay, Mr. Patrick Bet-David, you can lie to everybody you want. Your life's going to be shitty forever. Because you lied once, you lied twice, you lied 3 times, you're going to be doing it for the rest of your life. I said, I'm going. I take my girl. I had only been in the business for a couple months. It's me, my girl, and 2 people. We go to Vegas together. Watch what happens. I'm sitting at the back of the convention at Thomas Maxson. I sit down. My girlfriend's sitting here. My other guy's sitting here. And my another person sitting here. Guess who's sitting here? A girl named Jennifer Hudman. She was at her first event. This girl has now been my wife for 14 years. We got 4 kids together. Patty Lopez, who was Leo's wife, she was my assistant at one point for a few months, if you remember Patty and Leo. One day I'm like, Patty, you know what, I'm not going to get married, I'm totally good, I'm 28, I'm going to be fine, I don't need a wife, I'm going to be fine, I enjoy my own company, I go to movies by myself, I'm good. She said, Patty, you're lying, I know you want a wife, I know you want kids, you want family, I see how you are with your guys, you treat your guys like your kids, I know one day you're going to love them when you have your own kids. She she's doing what I do to other people. So what you gotta do, you gotta kind of be like, okay, you're right, I do. She says, sometimes your wife's right in front of you, you gotta just open your eyes and see all this stuff. I'm like, Patty, you're married, Patty. She said, no, I'm not. I'm just kidding with you. The husband sitting right there would always kid. I go to the event, Jennifer comes to me and she says, hey, Pat, would you mind the next 3 days if I spend the 3 days with you? I want my team to learn from you guys because you guys are the number one big shot. I said, sure. Boom, 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 boom. Magic. That awkward moment. Hey, why don't you guys date? Patrick, they dated and Jennifer, peanut butter and jelly. I just told you the story. I don't tell you this story. I said, don't worry, we will when we get back. We get back. I see a video on MySpace. Some of you guys are old enough to remember MySpace. She had this song called Let the Drummer Kick, Let the Drummer Kick. You know that song? That was her song. And I had my own song. Mine was ghetto, so you don't need to know about it. So I tell my dad, this is going to be my wife. My dad says, Patrick, everyone's your wife. This is like every time you tell me something, I say, this one's my wife. I'm telling you. Long story short, life changes. Everything is different. I was talking to Dylan the other day. And I said, Dylan, I can't imagine life not knowing you and not having met you. What if I don't go to the big event? Oh my God. I don't even know what to tell you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what if I continue lying? When I was a kid, I used to be afraid of praying because I was afraid they would say, if you pray, God will answer your prayers. I'm like, dude, this guy's voice is going to be deep. God is like, Trey, come on, listen, God. Sorry. You know what? I'm just not praying. God's going to answer. This guy's going to be powerful. I don't want to hear his voice, so I'm not going to pray. But I was always scared of missing church on Sundays. And I was always scared of missing trainings like this. You know why? Because I was convinced God always answered my praise through what other people said. I was just convinced that way. So come on, right. Now, let me give you the flip side of some of you guys. Some of you guys are like, God always answers my prayer. You should quit. Yep, he's right. God just said I should quit. So some of you guys want the easy answers to leave. Oh, I saw the sign, you know. You should quit. You quit, right? No. Maybe some of you guys right now, you know where your bank account is, you know how much money you got, you know what's going on, and some of the stories I'm telling you right now doesn't even seem believable to you. Because there's no way in the world. There's no way to make this kind of money. You guys know what it is to lease a 25,000 square foot office space? Does anybody know how much this costs? Go find out. You don't have to make money to lease a space like this. So why are they doing it? How long is it lease? 3 years, 5 years? You know, it's not a big lease. How are they doing it? Because they're making money. They're changing people's lives. So today, this entire message was for one person, and that's you. Period. Are you going to continue acting and fooling everybody? Are you going to continue begging for whatever the next thing you want to ask from the government or your job or your parents or everybody? Or are you going to fully pay the price? So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, I know for a fact I'm paying the price. That day when that appointment canceled, I went back to the office. That day when those 3 appointments canceled, I didn't go watch TV. I was tempted, but I went back and ran 3 other appointments. That day when I was very hard to go to Las Vegas, I made it to Ontario, and I brought my wife, and I made the phone calls. That day when the guy texts me at 11 o'clock at night, and he says, hey, my wife can't make it, rather than saying, I'll call you tomorrow, I'll call him that night, talk to him and his wife, and they're going to Vegas. And then when your dreams are becoming a reality 3, 5, 10, 15 years from now, no one's going to say you got lucky. You're going to say, lucky. You don't know my story, what things I did. There's no luck here. So I'm excited to see which one of you guys is going to make a decision here. I know when we go to the event, we're excited for the debate. There's already a lot of trash being talked from a lot of people, especially about this office, because they think this office is just excited right now. They don't know if this office is going to stay excited. And there is a lot of trash being talked about you guys. But we're excited because everybody in the company right now is upset because I didn't visit their office a week before the big event. Everybody. And you know what I tell everybody? No single office is more focused on associate count right now than the Austin office.
Come on, Austin!
Anyway, I hope you make a massive decision today to recreate yourself, because if you do, future looks so incredibly bright. I'll see you guys in Las Vegas. Thank you guys.
All right, Austin, how do you spell it? You got all right. Can we put the music down real quick? Music down, music down, music down. Awesome. Guys, on behalf of the Austin office, by the way, we know everybody is jealous right now. We know. The whole company, I got messages, hard sponsors, they're talking smack right now. A bunch of people are mad because he visited the #1 office sick. By the way, how many of you guys are fired up, blessed right now because you got a message? You're speaking. I got 2 of my guys down there. They're twins. They're the Herald. They're like, man, we want to go to the big event. We got to figure out a way to get to the big event. And it's crazy because you have no idea. Somebody else's discipline is attached to somebody else's breakthrough in you. Like some of you guys got blessed right now because you showed up. And we're so grateful that you came here at the right time. And we just had we couldn't find what to give you. We were all confused because you have everything at this point. The kids, the family, the gifts, everything. But we had a gift for you because we just want to say we appreciate you so much. So on behalf of all the MDs and the Austin office, we got you something nice, something we would love for you to wear going into big events since we're only 6 days away. We would love for you to show it up. So Austin, can you guys make some noise for our CEO? Zoom out. Okay, guys, we're gonna take a picture, by the way, with Pat. And it's gonna go on a mural. It's gonna be 400 with the 400 on it. So we're gonna try to get every single panel. Are you gonna do panel?
They're gonna have to try to.
Okay.
Squeeze.
Probably squeeze.
Gotta squeeze a little bit.
Squeeze in, guys. Squeeze in. Or go panel. Or go panel. Oh, 1 second. Let me get George.
Hey, can you move the phone? Can someone move this real quick?
All right, let's take this. Dan, Bruno, come up here. Yep, let's.
Put it right there.
Yep. Create some space right there. Space.
Go for the wire.
All right.
I
I got number one. Everybody. All right, go panel as well. Do panel.
I'm gonna do 2. Do 2. 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more. Hold on. All right, this is panel.
Panel. Stay still.
All right, hold on. Let's do a video with noise.
All right.
Yeah.
Austin, are you ready? Yeah. You gotta do it for us. You gotta do it for us.
Ready, Austin? Yes.
All right, guys, do not leave. Agents, don't leave. And don't crowd the door, guys. Let's come this way. Come back this way. Awesome. There we go. All right, guys, if you have a guest, only those who have a guest. BOM just finished on the right. So if you have a guest, I want you to go to the back, slide out real quick. If you have a guest, only those who have a guest. If you don't have a guest, stay in here. All right. Guys, how many of you guys are still fired up right now, man? By the way, just think about this, guys. Guests real quick, just slide to the right. Everybody else, just sit down for me. George is coming up to give our closing message shortly. Just sit down for me. The rest of the agents, sit down. Only if you have a guest, slide to the back if you have a guest. If not, sit where you are. Joe, you want to help me pull this up? All right. Thank you. Oh, perfect. Where's Dan? Dan. Okay. He did? Okay. And Matt? Is Matt here? Do you have the slides or no? Okay. Guys, only if you have a guest. Some of you guys are walking out, you don't have a guest right now. If you don't have a guest, please come back to your seats. Brother, guys, come on in. Sit down real quick. We're not done yet. It's only 8:30. Let's go. Yes, and by the way, any open seats you see, any open seats you see, just come right in, fill up the seats up in front of you. That way you're closer. We have the slide that Dan shared with you. Beautiful. All right, guys, I'll put it this way. By the way, how many of you guys right now, if you got a takeaway so far from Pat, like something shifted for you right now, just put your hand up for me. I'm coming to you. Tell me real quick. I want to know, what did you get so far, bro? What's your name? Your name? Sam? Sam, what did you get? Tell me. You can stand up. Tell me real quick.
Oh, I think just recreating yourself. Having that mentality to be different.
Having that mentality to be different. By the way, how many of you guys heard the stories and you're like, holy moly, like you heard what happened with Cindy Cobos prospecting somebody, that person led to Rodolfo Vargas. Rodolfo was about to cross $2 million in income. Cindy's about to cross $1 million in income. Her business does over $17 million a year because of one prospect. Because of one prospect. By the way, anybody here would love to run a $17 million business, by the way? That's my point, right? But what if you didn't show up tonight? What if your next prospect was the person who was in the BOM tonight? What if that person was in the BOM tonight? Guys, you know how many people, first of all, let me give you a perspective. Do you know how many people would pay? Do you guys know how much Pat's hourly pay is to go speak in public? Anybody knows? $150,000 for what? 1 hour. It's $150,000 for an hour. Guys, we get this free of charge. Guys, I have people hitting me up saying, dude, what are you talking about? Guys, I have people in my country saying, you hang around Patrick? Like the same Patrick I watch on YouTube back in Africa. You hang around Patrick? I said, yeah, that's who coaches me. The fact, I said this to an agent yesterday from a different company. I said, can you tell me who the CEO of your company is? I said, can you tell me the mission statement of your company? And can you tell me the vision of your company? You know what the person said? I have no idea for those three. I said, so are you just there to just go make extra money, or are you there because you want to build a legacy? Because here's my question for you, and I asked her this question. I said, here's what you got to put in perspective. How many CEOs today are still fighting the fight? How many of them are still fighting the fight? Guys, if this was all about money, some of the leaders here slow down. If this was all about money, the moment you make your first million, you're gone. You know why? Because the moment you make $1 million, what happens? You get comfortable and investment opportunities come. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. If this was all about the money, there's no reason we're trying to say, oh, let's go put 450 people in a room to come do a BOM and do a super BOM. Let me give you guys perspective. You guys were just seeing a preview of what this office is about to look like every single BOM. It's exactly what it's going to look like. I walked in here today, I'm like, we're doing the setup and different stuff and the chairs everywhere. I'm like, this looks like a church. What? I'm like, and I'm texting all my guys, don't come late. You know, like the latecomers, when you sit at the back, you don't get most of the blessings because you're sitting there like, I can barely hear. I'm like, yeah, you should have got in here early, right? It's first come, first serve. But you know what's so crazy perspective-wise? How many of you guys moving forward every training, you're here early, by the way, 6:30? Anybody? That's my point. Some of you guys are like, I'm not missing nothing anymore. But I believe in timing. I believe in timing. And, you know, we're going through this, for some of you guys who don't know, how this whole thing got started, how the vision got started, how we started talking about Austin. Because just so you guys know, 5 months ago or 7 months ago, Austin was just a wish list. I remember when Ernie was negotiating with George on, hey, you know what do we do? Do we go to, guys, as of October last year, our office was supposed to go Tennessee, Florida, or Dallas. That's exactly what it was. October last year, we're like, well, where are we moving to? The only person who was coming to Austin was who? Me and Bruno. Remember, Bruno was like, yeah, we're going to come to Austin. And we're like, oh, yeah, we'll open our own office. That was the vision. And then George is like, no, let's go to Tennessee. And they're like, we're not going to Tennessee, not me. Okay, I was like, George, you can go, hasta la vie. Okay, I'm not going to Tennessee. And then there was Florida. We're like, Florida might not be a bad idea. Tampa, Brady's over there, all these different things. And then Sears are like, okay, Dallas, go with Dallas, different stuff. We're like, okay, what's the difference? Terrace, a few guys, Luis, all of them come together like, you know what if we all go to Austin? And everybody's like, what do you mean? What if we unite? What if we all come together? What if we do another last dance? Because last one we're saying, oh, this is the last dance. We're like, no, let's come together. Why don't we go break records in the industry? Why don't we come together and show what we can do if we all commit together? And one day we said, you know what? Is this really happening? Yes, it is. Next day we call. They showed us what, 5 buildings? November we jump on a flight. We come out here to Austin to come do a walkthrough, see the different things. As soon as we see it, we tell the leasing office, I think we're taking this right here. Don't show us any other building. The one right there. And guess what? When we're doing it, we're looking, it's a 12,000 square foot office, which is bigger than where we're coming from in Culver City, which I believe that was what, 9,000? That was an 8,000 square foot office, 8,000 square foot, which was that was our biggest size office we had seen. And we're like, you know what? Let's go to 12,000. And we come here, we're looking, it's 14 of us. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's 14 of us that come from California, and we start talking about, man, what if, this whole conversation of what if we grow? What if we do this? Why we get in a big space? We don't even have enough people to be able to fill it up. And you know what you forget? That the biggest organizations, the biggest churches, or the biggest movements started with what? A few people making a decision to say, let's go do something big. It doesn't start because you have the raw material. It doesn't start because you have the final product. It doesn't start because you already know how to figure it out. I love what Pat said at the end. He's like, man, maybe you're the person in here searching. I'm looking for the one message to change my life. What if Big Event is that for you? What if tonight was just for you to come say, 6 days, I'm not financially where I'm at, but I'm going to make that decision to go to this convention because I'm betting on me. Well, I'm not waiting on somebody else to tell me you're worth $30, $40 an hour and tell you, man, hey, as long as, if you take the next 5 days off, I'm laying you off. Why do you let people still get control of you? Why do you still let people take control of your dreams? Why do you still let your dreams, why do you still put your dreams and goals on the back burner and you bet on somebody else versus bet on you? Maybe tonight was just for that. Maybe tonight was to help you shift your paradigm and say, man, what do I really stand for? What are my values and principles? I said this to one of my guys today. I said, when have you ever heard me use the word can't? I said, because that word doesn't exist in my dictionary. I said, I never want to be the person who gives you that excuse as a leader because, well, I want to always come through. I want my reputation with you to always be what? I can come through. You know what's funny about that? Some people say, I got things going on in my life. No, I do too. Because leaders don't talk about theirs doesn't mean they're not going through stuff. They're going through equal as well. But guess what? They believe in your dreams and their dreams that things can actually change. So here's the question. Are your adversity greater than your dreams? Are your doubts greater than your dreams? Is your motivation to show up greater? Is it less than you going out there and doing something bigger for yourself? You know, we're posting on here, Dan put together the slide. He said, when we started this thing, let me show you guys here. Let me tell you something so powerful about making history and vision. There's 5 stages to making history and vision. Number 1 is find the vision. That's number 1, right? Find the vision for yourself. You know, when we got into Austin, we said what? Man, we're going to be the number 1 office. Guys, it was a wish list. We left Culver City being the number 1 office. We came here, everybody said, you guys are going to flunk. You guys are not going to do anything. It's a new city. You guys are brand new. You're not going to go play offense. You guys are not going to go dominate, right? All these different things everybody said to us. And we sat there and you know what we said? You know what? Let's start building. And guess what we started doing? We started to catch some momentum as an office, right? What's going on, Matt? It's not showing right now. It's not showing? Okay. We started to catch momentum as an office. Let Matt fix this. We caught momentum as an office and we grew. 14, we started peaking 100 people, 150, 180, 200 people coming to meetings. And you know what happened? We got complacent as an office. I think it was month 3, month 4. Right? Who remembers that meeting, by the way? Who remembers that meeting? When we got to 100, we got to 180 people or 200 people, and guess what? One BOM on Saturday, we went from 200 to what? 133. I have it on my slides. We went to 133 and we called an emergency meeting. And we said, man, why did we move over here? Did we move here just because we wanted to just, build businesses normal? Or did we move here because we want to actually go make history? Did we move here because we actually want to shape destiny? Did we move here because we actually believe that people's lives can change? Did we move here just because, oh, you know what, it's all fun and games? No, we moved here because there are people who were counting on us to show up so that their dreams and goals can become a reality. What if we weren't in Austin? You see, for me, here's what I always believe. Positioning plus timing always equals a breakthrough. I'm a firm believer in that. Positioning plus timing always equals a breakthrough. So when I'm sitting here watching Pat come down 1 week before big event, and I'm sitting there and I'm asking myself, man, if this is not God, then what is it? If this is not God telling you a message today saying, man, you know what? If you're going to really make this thing work, why not you? He's saying the story about my big event right here. I'm getting emotional. I'm trying to look down so I don't start tearing up because I remember being at that event at 28,000. He said, he was boosting my number. I was at $28,000 in income. And you know what? By the way, at that point, I'm shit scared. Because I'm looking at my mom on the right side, and you know what I'm telling my mom? Mom, I promise you, and I said this, I swear to you, Mom, you're going to be retired. And at that point, I was alive because I had no solutions. I'm 28 grand in the business after a year and a half. I'm like, man, this stuff, I don't know if it's going to work for me. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if this BHP stuff is going to work for me. I barely just got my license. I'm like, let me try to figure this thing out. That was my MO. $28,000 in income. But I was at that big event. And I looked to my right and I saw the most important person in my life at that moment, which was my mom. And I made a declaration to her, I'll never forget. I said, Mom, watch what we do with our last name. Our last name has no meaning right now. Our last name has no pull right now. Our last name has no traction right now. Nobody knows who we are. We walk into rooms, nobody even cares about, man, what are you doing with your family? None of that. And at some point, some people say, oh no, that doesn't matter to me. At some point, it has to bug you. At some point, it has to bother you. Because I failed to believe my entire life was created just for me to pay bills and die. I failed to believe that. By the way, that's exactly what society wants you to believe. All you're supposed to do is pay bills and pay bills and pay bills. And at the end of this thing called life, you die. Because guess what? It all started with this. You guys look at all this stuff right here. Scribble. Scribble. Man, you know what? April 17th was when this picture was taken. And that office, all the MDs came together. You know what they said? Man, we're going to go on a 12-week run. We're going to go on a 12-week run to get to 400 people coming to meetings. And guess what? They say eyes that can see are what? Common. Eyes that have vision are what? Rare. Eyes that can see are common. Everybody can see. But the people who have vision are very, very rare. And we got here, it was a very uncomfortable meeting. Man, what happened with your numbers? You can see all the different things. George posted, this is what we need to grow. Every single BOM for us to be able to break the record. You can see all the MDs giving their commitments. And you know what happened? We started to tally up and we said, man, by July 17th, 12 weeks from now, we're going to get to 400 minimum people coming to meetings. Here's what's funny about this. Here's what's funny about this. Because what did I say earlier? The first one is what? Find a vision. What's the second one? Cast a vision. So when we started talking about 400, guess what? We were liars. We didn't know how to do it. We had only 100 people coming to meetings, 133, and we're like, no, we're going to get to 400. And everybody looked at us like we were crazy. The whole company said, no, you guys are just tripping out. You guys are not going to do anything big. You guys are not going to go make history. And we started to cast a vision that no matter what, that's what's going to happen. So guess what started to happen? We started saying, man, what if we get to 500 and something? What if we started growing? What if we actually create a vision for Austin? What if we actually create a vision for the city? And it got really uncomfortable. Number 3, sell the vision. Number 3, sell the vision. How do you go make history? Find the vision, cast the vision. Number 3, sell the vision. Meaning what? You need to go get believers. This stuff wasn't created by itself. Don't get fooled. Don't think, man, only the leaders in here. No. We're talking about some of the non-MDs who pushed today. Like Chandrell had 18, 19 people here. You guys give her a round of applause tonight. We had, I think, how many people did we have here? 10 people here. We had Jeffrey, and who knows what Jeffrey's count was tonight? What was Jeffrey's count tonight? He cracked 50 people in the meeting tonight as a non-MD. Holy moly. 50 people. And he's not a broker yet. Unofficial. Because some people think, oh, no, only the brokers are killing us. The up-and-coming people will say, man, I want to go recreate myself. It's the young people coming up saying, man, I have 5 people, I have 10 people here. That's how we got to that number. Because we started to sell the vision of what's possible. We started to talk about, man, what if Austin, guys, check this out, man, this turned off again. I want to show you guys something here. This is so powerful. Watch this. We said, man, let's actually create a vision for Austin. So you know what we did? We took together Austin's population size. Meaning you add Waco, you add Austin, you add Round Rock, you add everywhere. And I think that population size is roughly what? 2.2 million. And you know what we said? What if we could only just serve maybe 10% of the population? What is 10% on 2.2 million? It's roughly 200,000. It's roughly 200,000. And we said, no, as an office, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have 10,000 agents. We're going to help 200,000 families, and we're going to put back $100 billion back into the community. And you know what? It started with, say, man, what happens when we start growing? What happens when we get to 1,000? What happens when we get to, 2,000? What happens when we get to 5,000? What happens when we get to 10,000? And everybody thought we were crazy. And we started looking at this and we said, you know what? What if that actually happens? You know, the power of what if. The power of what if. So let me show you guys this, because we did the math behind it. If you can just stop sharing that. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Just leave it for me. 2.2 million. We said we're going to serve 10%, which is 200,000 people, 100 agents, 100 agents helping 200,000 families, $500,000 coverage. So if we help 200,000 families in Austin, and the average coverage is 500,000 of life insurance coverage, guess what? That's $100 billion we put back into the community. Here's my question for you. You ready? How many of you guys want a part of that, by the way? Anybody here, you want to be a part of making history where for the rest of your lives, you get to talk about it. You get to say, man, you know what if I just got started in this stuff? I have no idea where this is taking me. Guys, 5 years ago, that was me. Got started in PhD, clueless. Man, I'm in PhD, okay, got it. My mom told me, this is my mom's favorite move. You ready? Every time I came back home, my mom went like this, where's the money? Favorite move, where's the money? I'm like, Mom, what do you mean, where's the money? I'm like, Mom, we're coming. At some point, you know what I had to block the noise from my family. And I said, you guys just give me a freaking year, watch what happens. You see, some of you guys don't want to make bold moves in your family. You don't want to make bold moves in your life, but you want the breakthroughs, but you're not willing to put your butt on the line.
Come on. Yeah.
You want the breakthroughs, man. You want the wins. You want all these things. You want the $1 million home, $500,000 car, all these things, but you don't want to go recommit. Man, I want this big life. I want my kids to go to the best schools, but you don't want to commit to going to a big event. Man, I want the Ferraris. I want this. I want that. I want to be able to have freedom, but you don't want to pick up a book to personally develop. Man, you know, I want to change my life, and I want to be able to walk into rooms and people respect me, but it's a struggle to get you to BOMs every Tuesday and Saturday. So here's the question. Like Pat said, are you going to keep lying to your dreams, or are you going to show up for your dreams? Because that's a big part. Because when my mom said this every time, when she did it, I knew she didn't even have to say it. She just went that move and I said, watch. And it became an enemy for me. And I said, watch what we do with our last name. And she thought it was funny when I said it. I said, Mom, just watch. 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 And I kept looking at her at the big event. And I said, watch what we do. Watch what we do. And she said, okay, no problem. She said, I'm starting to believe you just a little bit. That year, 2019, I go from $28,000 at that convention exactly 1 year after I made my first $250,000 in PhD. You know what started to happen at that point? Every single person in my family started to become a dreamer. You see, some of you guys think today, the people in your family got to be, no, you got to dream first so that the rest of your offsprings and the people in your family and your parents get to dream through you. Because my mom was done dreaming freaking 30 years ago. I'm buying back every single one of her dreams with experiences. Every single one of them. We went from living in a one-bedroom house with 4 kids. My sister is here. She just flew in from Nigeria because she's going to the big event. Let me put perspective for you. If my sister has to fly 24 hours on a flight to come to a convention because she's looking for a breakthrough, please tell me what 2 hours of a flight is going to do for you. For the past 3 years, she hasn't missed one convention. No excuses. Got things going on as well. Got kids, got family, got all these things going on. She doesn't miss one. You know why? Because she said that's our one reason experience where we get to see our family. Walk the stage, talk the stage, all these different things. My family gets to dream through me. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's your story. Maybe you're that person and you're like, I don't know if I'm going. Well, maybe tonight you make that commitment and then that's your story. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's why this night is so emotional. Because I'm sitting here, I can't hold myself. I'm literally in tears all through. And I'm like, man, this man changed so many people's lives, and I want exactly that for people. We don't do this to get the pockets fatter. Trust me. Some people already got the money. George don't got to be here. He got the money already. Runs a $40 million business. Why is he here with this kid at the back, with his wife at the back? Every single thing, say, man, let's go on a run to go change lives forever where history is being made. That is very, very, when George is fired up right now. But that's the juice of life right there. That's the juice of life. When you know, you get to sit down and you get to have that conversation with yourself, man. It's exactly this is why we did what we did. This is why we ran the way we ran. This is why we were committed the way we did, right? When you look at it right here, I'll finish with this. Commit to the vision. We committed as an office, saying we're gonna get to 400 people. This was our first Fast Start school, guys. First ever Fast Start school. These are all the Fast Start graduates. We had only 50. Look how freaking small that group looks. Look at JPR on the right side. See that move right there? Right? 50 people. And we're like, man, we're gonna kill it. 50. You know, by the way, think about only 50 people in the room right now. Do you know how small that is? Like when we speak, the whole walls echo. Oh. That's how you know the room was so light. Now everybody's like, it's so hot. Then we're like, it's cold, bro. Can we turn the heater on? Like, I promise you that was the game plan. That was the game plan. And lastly, you know what happens? You fulfill the vision. Here's what's funny. Why did we make a commitment of 500? Check this out. This was April 17th. We said what? Check this number out. We said if we grow and keep growing, we're going to get to what? 589. We do a commitment 8-2. Randomly. George is like, guys, what are you committed to having? Your commitment. What are you committed to having here? And we all start throwing numbers on the call. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. We're going to have 75. We're going to have 90. We're going to have this. How funny is it that literally our commitment ends up being 582 when the goal April 17th was 589? If it ain't God, I don't know what it is. You see, some of you guys today are still doubting your blessings. And I tell people this, the greatest tragedy in life is being in a season where your breakthroughs are right in front of you, but you're so confused by your adversity. Oh my God, I got too much going on in my life. Yeah, I get it. I understand. But can you stay grounded to your blessings? Can you stay grounded to your blessings? Because that's exactly where change happens. So I want all of you guys to give yourselves a round of applause today for showing up. Give yourself a round of applause for showing up. Tonight happened because of you. Tonight happened because of you. And to give our closing message today, I am very honored to call this man a coach. There's a few people that come into your life, and when they come into your life, they don't just come in for the temporary part of it, they come in for the long haul. And you know, it's only wise of a person to be able to realize that from a this man has gone through different challenges with me, uncoachable phases, coachable phases, listening phases, all these different things. And I sat down, I'm like, man, you know what? I can go far, near, up, down. I don't know how many people I can find that are just like this, that want to actually care about a person's growth. They don't have to. They don't have to. And you know what's so crazy? All of us today are a blessing because an 18-year-old who used to clean tables at Red Lobster, talking about Bahama Mama and all these different things, knew everything, all the menu, A to Z. The fact that an 18-year-old decided to come into this business and say, you know what, I'm going to go 17, 18 years of my life to change people's lives through adversity, through doubt, through parents doubting them, to all these different things happening. You know all I think about? If this man today quit, my family today is not here. If this man today quit, I'm probably back in Nigeria today not knowing where my next correction is. Some of you guys don't know this. 2019, I'm at the phase of getting deported back to Africa. Nobody knows. I'm at this close. George remembers that meeting. We're literally at a big event. They called, man, you know what? We're at your auntie's house right now. We're looking to pick you up. I'm literally at the back crying. My mom, George remembers exactly what my mom did to me at the back. Some of you guys don't understand. My mom is a gangster. Mom slapped me at the big event. I didn't freaking raise you to be a pansy. George is like, oh shit. Like, he's like, what do you mean? Like, this guy's I'm fearful. At this point, I'm like, man, what happens? I've been here for the past 8 years. If I go back right now, where do I start from? Where do I go to? I have no idea what my direction is. And that man right there was always patient with me. And he said, you know what? You're going to be somebody. Even in the moments I doubted myself, some of you guys have a coach in your life right now, they keep telling you, you are going to be somebody, but guess what? Your spirit keeps fighting. Oh, no. I tell somebody today, I was like, man, how many more times do I got to tell you how much I believe in you for you to believe? At some point, you got to believe in yourself first. We are all a blessing because this man had a vision. He had a calling. He wanted to recreate himself. He wanted to fight for us. So with every single person, stand up in here. Let's give it up for our closing speaker, our board's counsel, Mr. George Malayo!
You know, it's different when you need a microphone at your office, right? Okay. Guys, I don't have much. What do you say after PPD? First of all, like there's not much else I can say. I'm asking the MDs for the text. Like, what does the office need? What does the crowd need? Anything that I can say before we wrap up? Have a seat real quick. Okay. Elvis said it here. Have a vision, right? God bless you. Right, and we printed these and we put them all over the office. All right, 400, 400, 400, 400. You got to keep it in front of you, right? Right? And you know, like this is, when it's tough, guess what you say? Oh man, I don't know if we're going to get there. Some of you guys right now have a dream. You don't know if you're going to get there. And guess what you got to do? We printed 50, 100 of these. We put them everywhere in the office. Guess what you got to do? You know when you're lacking inspiration, it's because you're focusing more on your obstacles than on your dreams. So guess what you got to do? Guess what you got to do? What do you got to do? It's real simple. Yeah. Who said it? It's not hard. Who said it? Go ahead.
Put it in front of you.
Put it in front of you. How many guys right now, if we went to your house, I would know what your dreams are by just walking through? Where are they at, young men? Where are they at? In your room. Guess where they should be? Everywhere. Guess what that means? When you open your car, what should be on your, where your speedometer is? Next to it, so you can still don't get a ticket. Next to it. What should be there? Make a little card with your dreams. Okay? When you have a notebook, you have a notepad, what should be on the inside? Your dreams. When you take a restroom next to the toilet, I'm being serious. You're there for a while. How many guys your leg falls asleep and it's your texting, email, check-in, start your day, Bible app, news update, WSJ. Like you're like, dude, I know what's going on in the world, but you can't. You get up and you're like, oh. If your leg don't fall asleep, you're not doing it right. It's a true story. Okay? So next to the toilet, your dreams. In the shower, your dreams. In the mirror, where you brush your teeth, your dreams. In your wallet, a small version of it, with what? Your dreams. Where else can you put it? On your phone, your screensaver, your dreams. Where else can you put it? In your kitchen. At your job. Definitely at your job. As long as it doesn't say, quit this job. If your boss comes by, you maybe get fired. Right? So just put a code there. Stop doing flamingos, and you know what that means for you, okay? So you put it in your house, on your fridge. Your dreams. On the when you open the cabinet, by the TV. You know the only challenge in here? You don't know what you want enough. So you lack the excitement when you have to overcome the work. For me, every time that somebody said, I'm not coming today, guess what I did to myself? It's worth it. Let's go. Hey, man, I'm not going to do this business. Not for me. Okay. Guess what I do? 22 acres. Oh, man, they're not being coachable. 22 acres. Man, they're not being grateful. 22 acres. Man, that client said no. 22 acres. Man, that client charged back. 22 acres. Man, I'm tired. 22 acres. Man, my kid was sleeping when I left, and they were sleeping when I got home. 22 acres. Man, I'm leaving. My baby's crying every time I leave in the morning. Then you leave. He can't talk, but this way. I put him down. He's so smart. His mom punishes him the other day for like the first time ever. And he's like, I don't want you no more. So he comes to daddy, right? And he's like, oh, daddy. And then she tries to take him. I told my wife, I said, I'm secretly very happy that he's mad at you right now. I won't tell him that, but I'm just telling you, it feels good to be wanted, okay? Because if any dads, like, nobody, they don't even know you exist yet. Like, who the hell are you? I don't even know you. So, but my point is, every time I get frustrated, guess what I do? 22 acres. For me, that's mine. 22 acres, lap pool, jacuzzi, sauna that fits 25 people, massive kitchen. Not for a party, for my family, where we go in there and we make pancakes on Sundays. And we have 32 people just having pancakes, and it's a normal thing. The big pool with the projector screen, where when the NFL games are on, like the screen that I'm talking about the screen like the size of like that wall, like massive screen. We're just in the backyard hanging out. You guys are over. We're all watching the games together. A track for the quads and the things, and you guys come over and we have 15, 20 quads in the big storage, the big garage. You come over, you're like, George, I brought my guy. Can I see? Can we open it? Can you show him the garage? Yeah, come on, man. Let's go show him. Just go show him yourself. Okay. Can I get the key? Yeah, here's the remote. Yeah. You open up the remote. Lambo, a Ferrari, Rolls Royce, the thing that drives on the street that looks like a motorcycle. I forgot what you call it. Slingshot, the bikes, the this, the that. Wow. You know why? Not to show off. You know why? I don't care about showing off. You know why? So that person can say, man, if he could do it, I could do it. Because you know how many people are looking at us and find their belief through our success? But do you know how many people are looking at us and also find their excuses through ours? But that's why you got to be focused on your dream. You know, it's a guys, and if you wonder, like, what has the horsepower to create stuff that you can't do by yourself? I think one is God, and I think two is a dream. How do we fill this room? How? Because this is everywhere, and this is all we talk about. What do you talk about? Oh, it's hard. Guess what it is? Oh, they don't want it. Guess what? Oh, okay, they don't want it. Oh, but look at who's here today. So what does that tell you? If you're not finding success, but you look at this room, that means all these people would have said yes to you if you would have had the confidence to ask them. And this would be your team, but you're afraid. You know why? Because you're focused on what you don't want versus what you do want. This is our next, guys. And by the way, some of you guys are not registered for Vegas. Here's what I will tell you. It's not like a takeaway or a sales technique or motivation. We're past that. If you can't see what's happening, you may be blind even though you have eyes. Pat came here tonight. You know why? Because we sat there on April one day, in April, and I'll finish with this. We sat there in April. I'm driving to the office, and I'm not inspired. It's a Monday morning. Monday's a tough day for most people. Do you know Monday in America, heart attacks are the highest out of the week? Huh? On the way to the job. Because people are stressed out and feel anxiety, and they're depressed. Monday is the highest day of the week where people have the most heart attacks. So I'm driving to Monday, and I got to come deal with stuff too, because it's not a perfect business. Is your marriage perfect? Is life perfect? No, it's hard. So I'm driving on Monday, and I'm not inspired. How many of you guys can relate to that? There's times you're not inspired. If you're not raising your hand, you don't have a heartbeat or you're a liar. You're not inspired. And you know what I've learned how to do? Take my medicine. What's my medicine? When I'm not inspired, I need some medicine. Guess what my medicine is? Something inspirational. So I just know that I'm sick at that moment. I need to take some medicine. So I'm like, man, I got to listen to a video or something because I do not want to go to work today. But George, aren't you like this millionaire? Yeah, but there's days I don't want to do it. There's days it's tiring. There's days it's a lot of work. So I'm like, let me listen to something. So I go watch this video by a guy named Art Williams. He recorded a video a long time ago, and it was called Just Do It. I saw a video that he did recently for this company that he built, a company called Primerica. They sell insurance. They only sell their product. It's not a bad company, but they don't offer anybody else's stuff, and you can't serve people if you only sell one thing. It's nothing against them. It's just a fact. And so he's at this conference, but now he's not the 50-year-old anymore. He's the 70-year-old. And here's what this 70-year-old man says. You got to have an impossible goal. And I hear him again. I'm like, what did he say? Reverse. Rewind. You got to have an impossible goal. Rewind. You got to have an impossible goal. I got to rewind. You got to have an impossible goal. 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 Rewind. I do this for around 30 minutes, hearing this phrase 200-300 times. And I come to this office and I sit with my MDs and I say, I'm so pissed off at me right now, guys. Because you know what? We don't have an impossible goal. We came here with a vision. We've already slowed down. We're at 130 people acting like we've already made it and we haven't even started. I'm pissed off at me. You know why? Because we haven't casted a vision for Austin. Did Elvis show you the numbers on the vision?
Yes.
We came up with that day. And you know what we said? We're like, guys, we didn't come here to be okay. We got to put pressure on ourselves and we got to grow. Every week it matters to grow. And the only reason we won't win is if we don't grow. So I said, we got to start growing at 10% a week. 10%, let's go. And we start writing it out on the board. And we said, you know what, man? We got to get to 400. People coming to meetings. What was our final count today, MDs? 433? 433? You sure? So 433? 433?
Yes.
433?
Yes.
433? 433? Because when you say, man, well, you got to have an impossible goal, then you go put it everywhere. And you guys come and you're like, oh, that's cute, 400, 400, 400. No, we're yelling it because we need to remind ourselves. 400! 400! 400! We need to remind ourselves. You don't remind yourself enough. You think it's corny. Oh, I'm never doing that one. Well, you're so cool, but you're not winning. So no. And by the way, that was me. Like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing that. My first time, I came to the meeting and they did the whoa. I'm like, hell no. I'm not doing it. I don't know why they're all doing it. This is a cult. I don't know what the hell these guys are doing. I'm not. That's so weird. I'm not doing it. Then I come to the next meeting. They're all doing it again. Whoa! I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Then somebody looks at me and I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, a little louder. I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's so stupid. Then I'm like, whoa! I bought in. I took the juice. I drank the Kool-Aid, whatever they say. Is it one of those things? Yes. It's one of those businesses where you make a lot of money and help people. Yes, you're right. It's one of those things. It's not one of those things that you get paid $12, $18 an hour, $20 an hour, and they buy 40 years of your life, and you can't even give your kids, your family, your dreams, anything. It's not one of those things. It's one of these things. So my point is today, guys. My point is, put this in front of you. What is yours? 22 acres. When you piss me off, guess what I do? Zillow. 22 acres. And I just look at screenshots. Okay. Can you help me? No! Just joking. I'm like, yeah, what do you need? Of course, yeah. I want 22 acres for my family. What do you want? Guys, how many guys would love for this to just be our norm? Yes. Do you know how many guests got started tonight? Do you know how many people came in? Do you know how freaked out the guests are? This was the guest. Oh, yeah. Oh, you want me to sign? Oh, go this way? Oh, okay. Because they don't know what the hell we're doing. They're just like, why are there so many people here? Some of you guys, we got to start getting little, like, don't be surprised if you see golf carts at the office. Because it's about to be like church. How many in your party? Come. We're going to pick you up. We're going to pick you up at building 1. We're going to pick you up at building 1. You're going to see me in the golf cart. Don't be surprised when you think I'm joking? Don't be surprised when you see a golf cart here and we start doing golf cart tours in here. And don't be surprised when it's that room's packed, that room's packed, all these are packed, and we bust out the building. We're at a point where we may have to buy out our lease. We're at a point where we can't control what's happening anymore because of you. There's a young man in the room. I've interviewed him today. Tell me your name, sir. Donovan? Donovan comes in. I'll finish with this story. Donovan comes in. He sits down. We do the interview. Loves it. And then he says, you know what? I'm just going to go talk to some family about this. And I said, Donovan, with all due respect, if I can challenge you. And we had a real heart-to-heart conversation. I said, I'm not going to change, so I need you to know who I am right now. I'm going to push you starting today. And if you don't want to work with me, I totally get it. But this is not going to be an easy relationship. Not because I want to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be rude to you. But coaching starts right now. And so I challenged him. I said, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it today. If you want to do it. If you don't, it's not. I respect that too. He says, I'm in. I said, great. Can you come tonight? He's like, I'm already coming tonight. I said, can you bring your wife? Can you bring your girl? Yeah, she's coming. And you know what he says? He says, I just want to win for my daughter. I just want to win for my wife, my girl. I just want to win for my parents. I want to win for my little brother. I'm okay pushing him to help him win. You got to push the people. People need this environment. Many of you guys came today for Patrick. You thought you're coming for Patrick. You came for a message that you're looking for so something can change. So when Pat's not here on Saturday, are you not here too? Because most of you, that's the case. Most of you are a fan of PBD, but you're not a fan of your dreams. Yes, I was inspired. I wanted to be around Patrick, but I also wanted to win for my mom and my dad, and I knew that wasn't going to happen if I don't get disciplined when Pat's not here. Pat hasn't been here since we opened this office, not one day, but today. So we have to commit. The MDs built this. The training associates, the FAs, you built this. Look at this room tonight, guys. Do you know what every office and do you know how many messages we're getting right now? I don't think you understand what's happening. The entire company is asking, what are you doing? We don't understand it. Guys, I look at people's eyeballs, and I watch the moment people came here outside, and I'm reading everybody, and I'm not saying names, but I'm looking at eyeballs. I'm looking at the pressure when you shake my hand. I'm looking at how you do everything, and I see it in your eyes. And you know what just happened. You know we just took over. Like, you saw it. Yeah, it's just the beginning. How many guys at one point in your life want to go all out and do some crazy stuff, like just big? Then man, can we just do it together? Can we just say the next 6 months, 12 months, 18, 24 months, we stop making all these excuses, we stop buying our own BS, we come together as an organization, and for once in our life, we can say, man, I was all in, and because of that, that's why I made 373. I was all in. Because of that, I made 622 last year. Because of that, I just crossed $1 million in income. Can we come together? Can we do this? Do you want to make this a norm? Eventually, this is BOM. Like, we're at a point, how much big? One more double. 800 people coming to meetings. One more double, 1,600 people coming to meet. We're buying a building. We can't be here. This is not a game to us. When I come walk your property and it's your dream home and I'm bringing you a bottle of champagne or whatever, I'm fired up for that day. That's already happened. When you pull up outside and you pull up in your Rolls Royce or Lambo, whatever you like, I'm fired up outside on social media. That's already happened. When you tell me, George, I just retired my wife. She doesn't work for nobody anymore. I retired her. That's already happened. When you say, George, I'm taking my parents on this trip. I'm paying off my parents' mortgage. That's already happened. When you say, George, I'm putting my little brother in college because I'm not going to let him get into debt. I'm going to cut a check for his education so he doesn't owe anybody because I busted my butt. That's already happened. Your dreams are real to me. I'm not trying to motivate you. Stop thinking that and buy in already. When's the last time you've been a part of an environment like this? When's the last time you heard a $200 million earner come in here, owner of the Yankees? When's the last time you were in an office like this? When's the last time you were part of something like this? If you can't see it, you're going to miss it. Because we're going to do something special. And it won't be easy. I'm expecting the building to complain. I'm expecting them to kick us out. I'm expecting you to quit. I'm expecting challenges. I don't expect it to be easy. And the harder it is, the stronger it makes me. Let's go. Bring it. I hope you can handle it because we need you to be tough. And if a convention and spending $500 to go to Vegas is going to stop you from winning your family and your dreams, I really question how big your dreams are. Well, my job won't let me go. I'm sorry, when did they own you? Well, I don't have the money. No, nobody had the money. If you had the money, you wouldn't be here. So find the money. But they don't have money either. Even more of a reason for you to change your last name. So that your kids don't grow up thinking that struggle is normal. We save marriages. We help people get their faith right. We help people get healthy. We help people build a business. It's a good place. Can you imagine what happens when we go to MGM together? And all of you bring 2-3 people with you. Next week. You want me to do that next week? Yeah, I want you to do things that are uncomfortable because that's what winning takes. But that's too much of a sacrifice, George. You're right. Elvis said something to me that day, somebody shared with him. It says, the person that questions the cost isn't ready for the blessing. So if you're focused on what it's going to cost you, you're focused on the wrong thing. You're focused on what it's going to cost you from your job and not what it's going to cost you of your dream. God has a word for you at MGM. I'm a big believer of that. Because we're not doing this today. God isn't doing this today. It's not an accident. God is here right now, like saying, man, I want to bless you because you're good people. And the world needs this. Can you imagine if you go take 2, 3, 4 people in your family to MGM? And we show up 2, 3, 4,000 people. Can you imagine what happens if we do that 12 months from now, what MGM looks like? If we can go from 7 to 400, you don't think we can go to 5,000? 800, 1,600, 3,200. We're 3 doubles away. We had to go from 7 to 14 to 28 to 56 to 112 to 224 to 448. How many doubles was that? 8? We just got to get 3 more doubles. 800, 1,600, 3,200. It's 3,200. You imagine we go buy a building, a church that needs to get like, hey man, we're selling a building. Can you imagine that? And you come in and on the wall, it says owners or founders, whatever we want to call it. And we get this plaque done and we sign it in a bronze and your name is, your signature is on there. And then there's a hallway of owners, investors, and that entire hallway is a mural of all of us. Maybe we go to, I don't know, maybe we go take a photo in New York on Wall Street. Maybe we go, I don't know what we get a painter to paint I don't know what we can do. But can you imagine if that happens? Can you imagine? And then you come down, you know how we have the open seats today? Can you imagine if you just go like, you know those fold chairs, like when you go to church, how you just, and they're all there? Can you imagine having an auditorium? Can you imagine doing tours where you give a tour and you're like, let me take you to our auditorium? What did you, is this, what do you do? I don't know, what do you guys, is this a church? Yeah, it's kind of a church, but it's not, but you'll see what I'm saying. Just come on Tuesday. No, I'm serious. The only reason we won't get there is you don't believe. And my belief will make up for your skepticism. I will believe enough for you if you just believe me until you believe. And then somebody will borrow your belief. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine the kitchen? Can you imagine? Or you know like McDonald's University where the chairs go up? Can you imagine? Can you imagine a gym, a facility, full training, everything? Boxing, lap pull, everything, sauna, steam room, men's, women's lockers. You're coming, you're like, man, let me get a workout in, let me shower, let me go do an RI. Hey, by the way, come over here to our conference. We have a chef. Can you imagine? Chef, what do you want to eat? Oh, wait, we have some sushi over here, chef. And every day we just all pay a plug-in $100, whatnot, food all day. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? You know what? This is crazy for me, but this is like a little crazy dream I have. Can you imagine where there's a private elevator and the elevator's for your car and like it goes up to your floor? So you drive into the building and like you're like park. And then you get into your floor and like you're doing an RI, you're like, welcome to my office. And your office is the size of this. And they're like, what do you need all space? Well, my assistants work there. Why is that car here? We're on the 7th floor. How's that car get inside here? Oh, that's my elevator over there. You just drive. What is over here? Oh, that's my shower. That's my private shower. What is that? Oh, that's a bedroom. Why do you have a bedroom at your? Sometimes I get tired. I need to take a nap. I'm so confused. What do you do? Oh, life insurance. Can you imagine when Austin doing a documentary on us? Can you imagine? Can you imagine when Insurance Newsweek says, what the? We got emails. We don't know what you're doing. You have 1,200 insurance agents at training? And they come. Can you imagine? Can you imagine when Forbes says, we keep hearing that you have 3,000 people attending a conference every week on personal development and leadership and sales. Like, what are you doing? Can you imagine? Can you imagine when we say, hey guys, who do you want to get to speak? I don't know. Who do you want? Let's put them on the board. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, guys, we're taking a vote. We have a budget this month, $100,000. Which speaker do you want? And we're picking speakers that are $100,000 earners to come and speak. Can you imagine? Can you imagine when we have, I don't know what presidential box we're going to get at the Austin football club deal that it has over there? The top. Can you imagine? Can you imagine when you're invited to dinners at your church and they say, we're doing a top givers dinner for anybody that contributes over $100,000 to the church because you guys pay for the building and the staff and we need you. And you're at that dinner? Can you imagine? Can you imagine when you're at the graduation and your brother, your sister, your little niece, your nephew is walking the stage and they go to get their diploma and out of the entire crowd, they know exactly where you're sitting. They say, that's my daddy over there. That's my mommy. Man, I'm here because of them. Can you imagine? And they just look up at you and they're like, can you imagine? Can you imagine? We're at the Olympics and we're watching E-Sears. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine the building? Hey, what's over there? That's our salon. I'm sorry? No, we have a built-in salon for all the ladies. They all get their hair done here. What's over there? That's our barbershop. You have a barbershop at your office? Yeah, bro, we gotta get cut. You know, look good, bro. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? What is that over there? Well, that's our private tailor. What is that? Well, anytime somebody becomes a marketing director, we just get them a full-blown $3,000 wardrobe on us. You know. Can you imagine? Why is there a helicopter here? Did somebody get in an accident? Is that an emergency helicopter? No. That's our guest speaker. It's our guest speaker, Elvis Okafor. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Like, can you imagine? Because I'm going to have a helicopter. I'm not driving through the Taffrac from Wimberley, 22-acre ranch coming over here. So I'm going to be like, you better only be one helicopter pad. If not Elvis, you got to get your own. Guys, I'm not being funny with you. When I go get our helicopter's license and you see me pull up to the office in the helicopter, you're like, damn, I thought he was trying to motivate the new guy. He was really trying to motivate himself. Yup. I'm giving you my life and there's nothing I won't do for you that I can do. And because of that, I'm going to ask you for the same. Devin said he's not coming to a big event. I said, Devin, there's 100 people in the base shop coming, bro. And I want to say this with all kindness. I like you. I believe in who you are. I think you're very intelligent. I love your personality. I think you could be a stud in this business. But if you don't come to a big event, there's 100 people that sacrifice as much as you did or more to be there, and I will not spend any time with you because it will be a disrespect to their commitment. So you might as well not get appointed with us. Let me know if you want Sylvia to cancel the appointment process because I don't want to waste your time, brother. And I care about you. I hope you come. No disrespect. Verbatim or verbatim, Devin? Don't play with me, man. I'm in. I got your back. I'll run till 2, 3 in the morning with you. But I want the same from you. I want the same from you. So we go on a 3, 4, 5-year run, and we have $100 million earners in this room. Why? Why not? You think it's a lot? You think it's a lot. I think it's possible. I think this is just the beginning. I think PHP's been looking for this office its entire time, and it just found it. That's what I think. Can you imagine? Because I can. We're going to do something great. Don't miss this. Join us. We'll see if you're here on Saturday. You have a simple job. Get you, your wife, your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, whoever. It's a big event. You go pay $100,000 to go to school to get a degree so you can get a $22 an hour job. Go get a freaking loan. Figure out how to do it and get your family to Vegas to an environment that could change their life. Invest in somebody. I'm just telling people, get there, dude. We'll find a room for you. I don't know how many hotel rooms I'm paying right now. No, because when I say I'm going to invest in you, I really mean it. I don't know how many flights I'm paying for. I don't know how many tickets I paid for already. I just want you there. I'm losing money! But I believe it's an investment because you're worth it. So will you get to a big event? We'll find out. Will your wife be there, your husband? But we're not in a good place right now. Even more of a reason for them to be there, because that could save your marriage. I really mean that. But my brother doesn't want to come. That's why he needs to come. But my wife doesn't want to come. We have kids. Yeah, get babysitter. Bring somebody. Sell them on going to Vegas on vacation. Figure it out, man. And then get a guest for Saturday, so we can bring a business partner on board so they can see this. We're going tonight to buy another 200, 300 chairs because we ran out of chairs and we have to rent these every week. We're not doing that again. We're going to do it. Whether you're going to be here or not, the chair's going to be here. Hopefully you're here. If you're not, somebody will take your seat. But I hope you are. We're just getting started. Anyways. All right. Base shop meetings with your leaders. Do what you need to do. So proud of you. Did we get a picture up here, Dan? Yeah, can I get a picture with you guys? Yes! I didn't get a picture on stage.
Oh, you weren't here.
No, I wasn't here. Let me do a photo. I'm going to do a video with me in the background. Here we go. And you guys give me a hug. Can I get a hug? Yes. Okay, let me do this, huh? Oh, can we say 1,000? Yeah. I like that. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Boom! I like that. All right.
Come in if you can.
I'm gonna say we have some friends. They want to say hello. Okay? Okay. Hey guys, we're here at our small, tiny, miniature office, PHP office right here, and it's tiny. It's small. It's 25,000 square feet, and we have a few people, not a lot of people. Just a couple, some friends that want to say hello. Say hello to my little friend. Say hello. You ready? Say hello. Say hello to the #1 office in PHP! Oh my God! Have a great night, everybody! Hey, if you're in the base shop, FAs and above my office. If you're not an FA, have a great night, everybody. Talk to your MD.